Welcome, everyone. Happy Monday. It is the day after the Super Bowl, and we are here to discuss the Super Bowl commercials, and the upcoming Captain America Brave New World. That's right, Cap is coming. He'll be coming all week as we get into our coverage. Dante James and I will see Captain America Brave New World tomorrow for a late night Hollywood on the Rocks After Dark stream tomorrow night, Tuesday, February 11th at 10 p.m. or so. Anyways, join us then. Let's get started. It's time for Versus. Got a bunch of people waiting in the background. It's going to be a lot of fun. So prepare. Let's go. It's time for Versus. I meant to play a different video. Let's say. Hey, boys. How's it going?
Good. Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, it is going great. Dude, I gotta confess, I am hungover. I think it's I went to the CCAs on Friday. Then I went to the movies and kind of hung out on Saturday, kind of low key. And it was wild at the 35er in Pasadena last night.
Yeah, it was. It was a good time, though. It was a good time.
Chicken wings and free. We had a couple free drinks, some giveaways. I almost won a TV, as did you. I did not win.
You know what, though? I'm proud of myself, man. I could have drank more, but I didn't.
You were
Right?
low key. You were low key for you.
I was pretty good. I had like maybe a couple of beers, and that was it.
Yeah.
And a few shots, but whatever.
What about you, Badger? What'd you do for Super Bowl?
I put together a bed frame that glows because I don't know shit about sports. But other than that, no. Yeah, I did not imbibe. Nice of you fellas to show up, though. The true champions of Versus have shown themselves today, and it is Dante.
That's right. And I hear, everybody kind of bailed at the last minute, but Rob will be here apparently at the bottom of the hour. He said he'll be here. So I'm looking forward
Probably
to
a lot of people recovering right now.
A lot of people recovering. But let's say hi to people. Oh, I want to remind people, Film Threat is an official sponsor of the Krypto Film Festival that is put together by Justine Bateman. It is March 28th through the 30th. That weekend, last weekend in March, Justine Bateman will be there showing films, doing panels. And she sent me a video of a little tease of the fest. Let's take a look. Well, there you go. A little tease of the festival. We will be a part of it. Gentlemen, you're, of course, invited. So join us.
Tuxedo time. No AI. I like that it said that because, of course, none of us would ever use or watch or condone AI at all.
Exactly.
Don't look at my channel, Justine. I'm sorry.
And a quick reminder, support our work. Go to shop.filmthread.com. We've extended the Award This merch until the Oscars. And we have some actually new Award This merch. We've got a pint glass. Here it is. The wine tumbler and pint glass. Look at that. I love this. This is great. We have a pint glass for Award This. So check it out. Get your Award This merch at shop.filmthreat.com and support our work. We appreciate it. We appreciate you guys going there and fighting for us, helping us stay in the good fight. So there you go. I can't find the little if only Alan were here. Alan is still on vacation.
Alan,
Yeah, I know. So he's on vacation. Thankfully, he's not here, so he can enjoy himself there.
You know what? I can't tell from his pictures if he's having a good time or not, though.
He's complaining a lot. He is complaining quite a bit, actually.
I'm like, Alan, are you enjoying this vacation, or was this a huge mistake?
I think maybe it's a huge mistake, but yeah. Now where's the link to the box office? I gotta get. There's no. Lori, I'm all out of sorts here. Can you help me out? Help me out. There should be. There it is. There it is. Let me just go right to it. Let's look at the numbers.
Hopefully, Alan pops in live right when we're about to do a segment, and that would be great. Yeah.
So, kind of a disappointing box office here. I'm gonna share it with you. Dogman was number one again this weekend. So weekend chart for February 7th, Dogman, 13 million, total gross 54 million. Hard Eyes came in second. I'm happy because I did like that movie, 8.5 million. Love Hurts, kind of disappointed with 5.8 at number 3. Mufasa hanging in there again with 4 million. Companion, another 3 million for a total of 15 million. One of Them Days, which is a profitable movie, 3 million. Total gross almost 40 million now. And a movie I plan to see this week, and I'll report on Friday, Becoming Led Zeppelin, only in IMAX theaters this week, and then it goes wide at number 7. So that's a good debut, 2.5 mil. Flight Risk at number 8, 2.5 mil. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, 1.7 mil. Moana 2, 1.6. It's it feels like the January hangover, right? Any thoughts on the box office?
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what I expected it to be. Every single one. It's a slow time, man. It's a really bad time for box office. It's a bad time for movies. We're probably not going to get anything good for a while. So, this is like the worst part of the worst time. I mean, for the film industry. Oh, but you know what? Always has been though. This has always been the worst time for the film industry.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Sorry, I had a recording session for my audio drama, but it was only a few lines, and we finished. So
Great.
Here I am.
Well, now that you're here, and we're done with the box office. That was very sad box office. I might have you have this book, Rob.
I do.
I have no doubt.
I've read that book probably more than any other book I've ever read.
Unbelievable stuff.
I got it when I was a small child.
I had it when I was a kid. I had to rebuy it. You probably also had when you were a kid, Star Trek Concordance.
Dude, I have it right over there. My original, and my spinning wheel is still intact.
But
again, another book, Bijo Trimble's Concordance. It was for what you're talking about. The Concordance was an episode guide of the original series and the animated series, and then it was an annotated. It had like a dictionary in the back, and it had a spinning wheel that had the name of all the episodes at the front of it. So it's quite the book. I mean, it's funny because when I was a kid, those books, I can't tell you how many hours of my life I spent poring over those books, because it felt like, for fandom, if you were a Star Trek fan and you had those books, The Making of Star Trek and the Blueprints of the Enterprise and the technical manual, it felt like somebody else out in the world understood how important Star Trek was to the people who were fans.
Yep.
Because they produced these essential books that were so important to your understanding of the franchise. And that's something that's completely not understood today. There's nothing like that.
Well, it was close enough to when Star Trek existed in its heyday in the 60s. And I would say the early 70s, because the animated show was
73, 74, and then the original series went into strip syndication in 72.
Right.
And that book was written during the production of the original show. So it was an account, and it goes way in depth. Especially Paul Chato was talking about this because he bought it because I was talking about it. And how a TV show is made, and more importantly, the philosophy behind what they were doing. the world building, what was and wasn't allowed. And it's funny because that book's been around for 55 years.
Yeah.
And you would think that anyone who's ever going to work on Star Trek would read that book.
Yeah.
Because all you need to know to make successful Star Trek is in that book. It would be like if J.R.R. Tolkien wrote a book, like if you're ever going to make Lord of the Rings, this is what you need to do. And it's funny that people don't do that.
I only bring it up because people are talking about that book, but also a proud moment because I've known you for, God, almost 30 years.
Yeah.
I might have a Star Trek book you do not have.
Really?
I'm gonna show it to you right now. Star Trek Cocktails.
I do not have that book.
A stellar compendium where there's all
I
sorts
do
of
not have that book.
recipes in here to make Star Trek themed old fashioned margarita. There you go. So, okay. All right. I did it. I have a Star Trek book.
You have a Star Trek book I do not have.
It just came out on Amazon. It's not some proud achievement here.
There should be a lot of blue cocktails in that book.
Yeah.
A lot of
How come it doesn't say from Quark's Bar?
Yeah,
Like from
or
Deep Space Nine.
you got to have the Warp Core Breach. That was the one. That was the big drink that you would get.
You know, the difference is if you look what they did in the 70s, not with making of Star Trek, but like with the Star Trek, the technical manual and the blueprints, they made them as if they came from the 23rd century.
Yeah.
You know, that was the whole point. So they should have made that book look like it was from Quark's Bar in Deep Space Nine.
Right.
You just add a shot to a beer. That's a Romulan ale. The
go.
Boilermaker.
Well, hey, did you guys? You're probably, if you're like me, I had nothing invested in the Super Bowl. Nothing. Didn't care. My team, the Detroit Lions, was out. I'm merely watching it for the entertainment value and the commercials, which is, I'm sure, why all of you at least checked in. But before we get to that, I've got all sorts of Super Bowl themed topics here. I think it's important we take a look at this. This is from the Found Footage Film Festival channel, Found Footage Fest. Go to their YouTube channel. This is a guide, football, a woman's guide. And I would say, having watched this, it's also a guide for nerds if you don't understand football. This will give you a really good take. So let's take a look at this. It's 2 minutes.
Good. All right. Pick it up. Pick it up. Run with it. Run. Yes. Yes. No. Yeah.
Sound familiar? A burst of joy, then a painful moment. More joy, more pain, all building toward one final moment of ecstasy or utter despair. This is the life of the football fan. And if you're like me, who happens to be in love with a football fan, this is part of your life too. I was a football airhead. I knew nothing about the game or communicating with its adoring followers. My ignorance was neither charming nor amusing. It's hard to realize how really, really big a football field is. It's big, almost as long as most shopping malls. Imagine throwing a package from Macy's to Sears and having your friend catch it. Now imagine while you're trying to throw the goods, the 11 biggest, strongest shoppers in the mall are charging at you, determined to bring you down. Let's say you're the X's and the other team is the O's. We'll call you the Kisses and the other guys the Hugs. You can run the ball or pass the ball or both to get your 10 yards. Let me give you an analogy. Let's say you're playing a game in which you're given a list of 10 swimsuits. You've got to find all 10 swimsuits that fit you in your size on clearance sale.
I'm sure feminists love this video.
Or stores to accomplish the mission. If you do this, you get another list of 10 more sale items.
This is already too complicated of an explanation for me. I'm lost.
You say, first store. Have fun.
Wow.
Well, there you go. There you go, folks.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It does explain the rules of football when you try to explain like first down and what it means, you know. First store. Okay.
First down is the first time someone falls down, right? Or gets pushed.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
But
All right. Make sure.
a lot of the controversy was over the halftime show. I did not look. I don't know Kendrick Lamar. Dante tried to explain it to me. I didn't hate that the show, but there have been better. Prince, think of the iconic.
Well, that was the greatest thing
performances.
ever.
Prince was amazing.
Prince,
One of
Michael
the-
Jackson. I mean, you had
Janet
Yes.
Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Titgate.
Yeah.
Let's not forget. Yeah,
Yes.
way better things.
Some of the best. So I don't know if you had comments on the halftime show before we go on to the commercials. I want to just sort of debrief the whole experience.
Yeah, I mean, for me, man, look, here's the thing. It was fine, right? It wasn't the best one I've seen. It wasn't the worst one I've seen. It was a halftime show, right? I think people are making way more out of this on
Right.
X. Like it's getting a little obnoxious and a little stupid, man. It's like, yeah, Kendrick Lamar is a modern day rapper, and a lot of people who watch the Super Bowl probably don't know a lot of modern rap, right? So they probably didn't get it. They probably didn't understand what he was doing. I did, but at the same time, yeah, I can also say that it wasn't the best I've seen, but it wasn't the worst. I just think people made too much of a big deal out of this performance. They tried to make it very political for some reason.
Yeah.
They made it racial. It's like, guys, look, it was just a halftime show at the end of the day.
Well, what
Okay.
was one of the songs?
It was a
diss-
halftime show.
Was a diss song to Drake.
Yes.
Well, yes. I mean, him and Drake they've been beefing for a while now, and there's been accusations about Drake being into underage girls, and one of those songs really illustrates that. The most popular song in the world, the song that Kendrick won a Grammy for Sunday, was that song, right? So nothing but humiliation for Drake. Probably for the rest of his life.
Some people are saying this could be a better halftime band.
Taste the biscuit.
Oh, the biscuit lady, yeah.
Goodness of the biscuit.
Got moves.
Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the
No, I
biscuit
mean-
with the honey sauce.
I feel like I was shopping at Goodwill.
This is
Get that
pornographic. The honey
on
sauce.
me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wing.
Oh,
See,
this
I
is
mean,
bad.
they criticize rap being sexual. This
Taste the
is sexual.
biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
No, the biggest question is though,
Kinda
how come
hot,
Popeye's chicken haven't taken advantage of
Taste
this?
the butter spread.
Dante, taste the
Taste the
biscuit.
goodness of the biscuit with the butter spread.
I don't think she's talking about biscuits. I'm just.
I don't either.
going out on a
Actually, it
limb.
might be a metaphor for something else.
Going out on a limb. But look,
Taste the biscuit. It's gonna be stuck in my head all day.
the
Now, thank you.
main thing is there were a lot of commercials. Okay, the good, the bad, and the WTF. I mean, and I don't think the commercials were really that good.
They weren't.
Think in the past years, the Bud Bowl animated beer bottles in a fake game. The Was Up guys. The Was Up guys are still funny. The Bud Frogs.
Although that was kind of a nice commercial with the baby Clydesdale.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of cool, but and even like Seal as a seal was kind of for Mountain
That
Dew.
is haunting. That is
That
haunting.
was
Yeah, haunting.
creepy. But
don't-
your take, and then we'll watch a couple of the commercials.
Well, I think that commercials, like anything else, have to have great writing. You have to have great advertising. Comes with a great hook, a great concept. It's something that's really clever. And we live in meme world now, where a lot of people do a lot of really clever things that aren't part of an ad agency. They're doing a lot of clever stuff right there on the internet, and you would expect that the level of cleverness would rise to the occasion, but I didn't see a lot of that. I mean, I thought like the Stella Artois commercial with David Beckham and Matt Damon was pretty funny, and stuff like that. I mean, there was celebrities that were sort of all over the place. Like, why is this celebrity in this particular commercial? And I feel like the commercials kind of are indicative of the same thing that we're seeing with a lot of the writing that we get and a lot of the storytelling that we get, because great commercials require great writing, and it's as in the dumps as everything else, that was very apparent with a lot of some of them were pretty good. And I did think that the Dung Kings, especially the short film, was pretty funny, and pretty out there. But the rest of it was not a lot of great stuff. The girl with the legs, that was good. The when they talk about it, when a girl's 3 years old, her legs carry her everywhere, but when she's 14, she hates them. That commercial, that was pretty powerful.
Acknowledged women,
just-
girls.
the Super Bowl is such a cultural event that I think it's important for us to talk about. And we're going to watch the Thunderbolts trailer. We'll watch the Superman promo that James Gunn did, all about Krypto. We're going to get to all of that. And the weird Bill Murray ad that we'll get to. That was
actually, you know what? To piggyback off of Rob real quick, though, with the writing thing, marketing is a skill, man. Marketing is an art, right? And if you're good at it, people will remember your ad.
Yeah,
that's the magic of good writing and good marketing. The problem is now, though, and I can speak to this because, like, I have to, adjust my career now because of the fact that I spent 25 years in marketing, and now that AI's come along, that industry is done. It's over. Most companies are using AI now for their marketing, and you can tell by how uncreative they are, how unimpactful they are. But guess what? They're cheap. So that's what they're doing. They're trading quality for cheap. And we saw that last night during the Super Bowl. And we're going to continue 100%. To see this now.
100%. Now, some of these commercials may have flown under the radar. Here's an NFL ad. Let's just watch what happens in this ad.
Oh, this is bad.
Yeah. You've seen this.
Your best guy?
Girl.
Whatever. Versus our best guy. The Brad.
Oh, not the Brad.
I'm Brad.
I can read.
Oh boy.
Yeah. You know where this
moratorium
is going to happen
versus a Chad named Brad.
Yep.
There you go.
His bigotry held him down.
Get her. Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Because this would happen.
Yeah. 8 million for 30 seconds.
Now, you know what would made this ad 1,000 times more better?
They slapped each other's asses.
Is if Chad were going up against this, gorgeous girl in the bikini, and they made some, make fun out of it, take the piss out of it, right? But no, of course not. They have to, push a message. So
here's another ad for the Secret Service. You might have missed this one. So just another short one.
America was founded on an idea of freedom. America's always stepped forward in time of need throughout our short but powerful history.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Tear down this wall.
We've been there for all of it.
The second plane hit the tower.
Our heroes are humble. They have an inner pride to keep this idea alive.
I couldn't tell if it's a parody or not.
Born, they're not made. America's Secret Service protecting this Super Bowl is asking a few more to step forward.
Well, there you go. It's like the culture changed, but I don't know if that one it's very patriotic. I like it. I just think that the culture has shifted and people in advertising don't know how to adjust to the shift. What are your thoughts?
First of all, our youth hates this country.
Yeah.
Let's be real. They live in a country where they're walking around with iPhones and all this incredible technology, and they have been programmed by bad actors and academia to hate the United States. So messages of patriotism do not appeal to young people.
Well, and everyone else has been red pilled. So I saw that. I was like, Abraham Lincoln. Oh, well, we saw what happened to him. Oh, 9/11. We let that happen. But those aren't ones that make me feel patriotic.
No, and you have to appeal. I mean, the fact is that we have a whole group, a whole generation of young people that have been taught to not only hate this country, but in a way hate everything this country stands for and buy into collectivism, and whether it's communism, whether it's socialism, because they don't know the difference. They completely take for granted every freedom that America affords them, not understanding that we're one of the best places in the world. If you go anywhere else, where do you want to go? So you have to flip that script. That looks like something that was made in the 1970s. And if anything, they don't even understand that's going to be you're trying to get our youth to step up and become Secret Service agents to protect the president in this day and age.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the young, but he means like the ones that are right now are of age. Yeah, the youth in schools right now are apparently super based because it's counterculture.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we can't wait the 4 or 5 or 6 years it would take for them to be, you know.
And that's the whole thing. The thing is, even the people, Trump is now a personality. You know, I don't even think people look at him as the president of the United States. They look at him as something else, maybe a god emperor. He's call it what you want, but he's not a person anymore. He represents something much larger. And how do you, even the very idea of the Secret Service protecting it's protecting Trump is one thing, but the idea of protecting America is something else.
Well, I'll just say this. Obviously the culture shifted, but was it really so anti-patriotic, or was all of that being promoted? If I almost think it's 70-30.
Patriotism was called fascist.
Yes, it's not organic, because what's been exposed by Doge are many left-wing outlets like Politico being funded so that when people don't fear, the people are not in fear to say what they really think. You get this image of like Trump at the Super Bowl getting cheers while Taylor Swift was booed. You know, look at this. And people do look. There's Barron. He's huge. He's the Kwisatz Haderach.
He's a monster.
There you go. But I wonder if it was all real to begin with. You've heard you've heard the theory that there's a fake internet, that like there's a
internet theory.
There's a different reality that's being told to us, like a digital matrix, if you will, and that doesn't reflect real reality. And I think that that's what we've been through for the last more than a decade.
Yeah, there's absolutely, and well, remember, everybody gets their own internet based on their own algorithms and things are being sent out. Also, you know, the thing about, for instance, Politico, which is interesting, so it's been reported that Politico was getting funded by USAID.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there was subscriptions that were paid for by USAID for everybody that received Politico that worked in government. So it wasn't that Politico was being funded, it was that subscriptions to Politico were being paid, so everybody in the government got free Politico.
Right.
Now, either way, do you want they're trying to couch it as if Politico itself, which has done some great work, is somehow bad. That is what I find really distressing.
It is. If it's all of a sudden writing articles like Gamergate too, it's filled with biased articles from them. Was that because they really felt that way?
That's a very good point. And I think that's what's happened in our entire culture, is that we are being manipulated both by people foreign and domestic, and that's been going on for a long time.
Absolutely, and we're sitting here trying to pinpoint when all this happened. I can tell you exactly when it happened, man. It happened the moment we created left-wing media and right-wing media, right? Because before that, Americans all got their media from the same place. We all watched people like Ted Koppel. We all watched people,
Walter Cronkite.
We all got our news and our media from the same source, and that source, you know, for the most part, great journalism. Secondly, it was still pro-America, right? It was still pro-America. And once we created left-wing media, right-wing media, that's when the divide happened. And that's when
to build on that, news became entertainment.
Yes.
And the 24-hour news cycle now became something where entertainment superseded the news.
You had to fill 24 hours.
You have to fill 24 hours. And like, you know, CBS, their news division, if you watch like Michael Mann's The Insider, they always worked, they were not profitable. The CBS news department, they were running that department not for profit because they were trying to be unbiased. And the fact is, once news becomes entertainment, that's when journalism starts to die, because entertaining the masses and keeping those people's eyeballs on your channel doing whatever, then it started to become more partisan. Oh, we're playing to this base or we're playing to that base. And what is lost is the reality of the news. You know, people go back, I'm sure they watch All the President's Men and they think about Bob Woodward, you know, Woodward and Bernstein, and they're like, who are these guys? The idea of crusading journalists that want to uncover the truth, whatever, be damned, you know, whatever they're going to uncover. This is all foreign. I mean, we don't have, and like you were saying, Chris, the Matrix has made it so what is truth? There's your truth and there's my truth. What is the truth? We don't even have that anymore. And the only way that you can have good journalism is if there is the truth, not your truth, not my truth, but the truth.
Well,
and no one can even say that
community notes and other things that, you know, correct people.
Yeah, although I like community notes.
I like community notes too.
Yeah, no, yeah, me too.
One of the strangest ads led to a website where you gave your email. It was data collection, very smart. And it was a Bill Murray ad. And I got an email from Bill Murray. It says the growl from the great beyond. So this is the email went to my inbox. And it says, thanks for emailing. Sure, you're thinking, what's this Murray doing in the middle of this game? Is he broke now? The usual gambling problems, ugly divorce, understandable reaction. But this is not purely a big money sellout. There's also a dog in my mirror, a real dog where my face should be and always has been. So kindly absorb that horror. Just walk 1 mile in my paws. Woke up earlier, slept well, then sat quietly, did some stretching, used that. I'll show you the video. I'll show you the video that he sent that accompanied this incoherent. I'm just waiting for what's the product. I haven't watched the video, but let's watch it together.
Oh, well, I go ahead. I make the dumb move of taking my pulse, right? So I take my pulse, and I'm not sure, is it my pulse 40 or is it 1155? So I went to the ER, and there's a line around the block. Today, there's a line around the block. So I figured because I'm in crisis and there's an animal involved, I could go to a veterinarian and insurance would pay for it. So I make the call. Vet tells me to come right on in. Real nice place. They have treats in the waiting room and everything. And vet says, the dog seems to be in good condition. I'm a little concerned about you, but there's really nothing I can do because insurance will not pay for it. So then he hands me this business card, and this is going to be my next and perhaps final hope.
Okay.
Wow.
Dogman live action. Bill Murray? Huh?
Look,
I don't know.
I miss funny ads, but and we'll look at Thunderbolts. We have the other stuff, but I don't know if you watched the game or paid attention. I have never seen a blowout like this in a while. It was
painful to watch.
It was painful. I actually am glad because I have a very good friend of mine, Mark Bell, who's been involved with Film Threat for years, is a big Philly fan. And I don't know if you saw this reaction, but we should look at this. This is after the game.
I'm a choker. I'm a trash can. Jalen Hurts absolutely destroyed me tonight. And the Eagles O-line pounded me raw. My cheeks were sore from all the pounding I took tonight. They didn't even use any protection. The Eagles O-line needs to practice safe sacks. You know, you can't just pound me raw all night.
Well,
Justine Bateman disavows this.
By the way, he said safe sacks, not safe sex, safe sacks.
This isn't real. Come on now.
Out a lot, but
what is real, Robert? Your truth, from a certain point of view.
This demolition. And I saw Tom Brady in the booth tonight and told him I was about to take his GOAT title away. But that dude brought me bad luck, man. He put some voodoo on me tonight. Now I can never be mentioned as the GOAT after this embarrassing performance. And Travis Kelce was too worried about fixing his hair the whole game, trying to look cute for Taylor Swift. He went ghost when I needed him most. And I'm going to announce a ban tonight. Taylor Swift can no longer attend my games. This girl just brings my aura points down. So, Travis,
Yeah, so there you go. All right. Well, that's obviously that's AI and it's fake and yeah.
I don't know, man. I got to say, as a San Diego Chargers fan, and yes, I said San Diego, not LA, because they should have stayed in San Diego. As a Chargers fan, it was glorious watching the Chiefs get their ass kicked.
Yeah,
They're very happy with the results.
Yeah,
I'm a Hawks fan, Seahawks fan, so it was nice to see. I enjoyed it.
It was. I was happy the way that it went.
But you want a good game. You know,
I just want a good game. That's all I care about. And unfortunately, it got kind of boring, and then the commercials really did not deliver. So I don't know. In the end, what can you say? What can you say?
I mean, but I will say this: it seemed like it was unusually bad the way the Chiefs played yesterday. Like,
yes,
I haven't seen the Chiefs play that bad since like the 90s.
Yeah. So, by the way, the celebrating in Philly, I don't know if you saw it. It was.
Oh, they probably tore that place up.
I don't know. Look, Detroit. When it happens, it's rare in Detroit. The celebrating in Philly was kind of.
Yep.
They tore down a light pole. I don't know what this has to do.
Understand that civilization is that far away, folks.
Yep. We're hanging on by a thread.
It's just that far away.
To be clear, this is not, you can't just say this is Philly. Go to any big city.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
Detroit, LA, they're going to celebrate by doing weird shit.
That group mentality is a fun one.
But we pay for that. All of us pay for that. That what they're destroying. I mean, I think if somebody like, what is the point of doing this? At the end of the day, your team won. Shouldn't it be celebratory? Why are you destroying property that our taxes pay for?
Rob, I think they think they are celebrating.
I guess so. I mean, you're destroying a stoplight or a crosswalk symbol. It's like
whatever happened to a parade?
Whatever happened to just going to get laid after you win the big game? Like, I don't know.
Sensible. Stop it.
All right, let's go to Soups, and then we're gonna get to Superman and Thunderbolts and all. I just wanted to any Super Bowl comments out of the way. I mean, I don't think this is gonna go down as one of the great ones. It just isn't. Probably one of the best.
The worst Super Bowl ever.
Yeah, it might be.
It might go down as great for one big reason. You know, Taylor Swift getting booed out the stadium. But other than that.
But that was. I mean. What if you look at what she does for every town she's ever played in, how many millions of dollars she gives to homeless shelters, and I mean, if there's one person who's spread her wealth around, it's been her.
Spread her wealth around, yes.
Yeah, no, and Rob, I agree with you. I honestly, I didn't like that. I didn't like that they booed her. I mean, I'm joking about it, but ultimately, look, there are plenty of celebrities who deserve the boos.
Yeah,
I don't think she deserved that.
No, I mean, I understand she's overexposed. You know, I'll tell you something though. You know what this weekend got me was these Post Malone Oreo cookies. Have you tried them?
I saw you post about
Bro, let me just tell you, these are Post Malone. Listen to this.
Is this salted caramel?
Swirled salted caramel and shortbread.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Bro. How much sugar is in that?
These
Robert?
Are the greatest.
Quiet you.
Look at it. Look at the filling. I describe these on Instagram as the cocaine of Oreo cookies.
Oh, I bet, man.
I said I want to Tony Montana these. I mean, if I could chop them up. I mean, let me just try.
Do a line in front of us. Yeah. Oh my god.
He's dicing it up.
Hydrox. Forget Hydrox cookies.
By the way,
get into a fine powder.
This tray was on sale for $2.50. $2.50.
Don't say that, man.
You walk up to the grocery store and you have their app, and you scan the thing, and it immediately just makes it $2.50 when you check out. The greatest thing ever.
Robert, we're in a health crisis. RFK is going to stop all of this.
The last thing I would discuss is the Ye commercial he shot in his car or something.
That was crazy. Crazy.
And then you saw he canceled his account. He's selling one shirt in his online shop.
You can't show it.
We can't show it. While he was posting hardcore pornography.
pornography.
He is burning money at this point. I think he's mentally unwell. And why they accepted that ad, they should not accept, shouldn't have accepted the ad. So I don't know if you had thoughts on that.
He has good taste in women.
I think honestly, and we're joking about it, man. I don't know. I think Kanye might be dancing with the razor. If you get what I'm saying, I think he should be on a watch list right now. I don't think he's well. I think there's something really wrong with him, man, and it goes beyond him being off of his meds this time. I don't know. Something feels weird about this, and it could just be me speculating, but I don't know. I feel he should be watched right now.
Let's go to Soups right now, and then we're gonna pivot to the Thunderbolts and Captain America and Superman.
I'm gonna eat one more of these, just so you know.
It's the last one.
The
last one, man.
M2M for 5 as we watch Robert devour his sugar. I just saw Nazar 1 on YouTube for free. It's a fantastic animated film, funny and heart-stirring. Nazar 2 is only showing this weekend in USA. Go Nazar.
Nice.
M for 2. So I did, and I made. So I did it, and I made my first movie review. Congratulations!
All right,
M.
send us the link.
Destiny Captain, member for 2 months. Can we talk about Severance on Apple? It's really good.
I've heard it's good.
I'm not caught up this season.
I just got Apple TV because I bought a device, and
For All Mankind and Severance, very good.
And Paradise.
I did try to watch Foundation. It did not grab.
Silo apparently good too.
Yeah, I watched the first season. Silo, it was okay. It was okay, but I hear there's season 2 coming, so it's out.
Oh wait, Severance is the Adam Scott show, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then Silo is the one with Rebecca Ferguson.
I love her.
How high are you guys? Well, Dante and I are probably sky high. I don't know about the other two.
I'm not high. Thank you, Pilgrim.
Robert has a sugar high that's about to kick in any second now. He's eating a whole tray of Oreos.
I'm drinking water. It's all good.
Dave D. Get for 10. I have to say that Secret Service did not protect JFK or RFK, and it is possible that members of the Secret Service participated in those events, not to mention that recent failures protecting Trump. Allegedly.
And yeah, there's some shenanigans with the Trump situation. So hopefully more will come out. Thank you, Dave T. Get. But
by the way, Robert did remind me, can we get those wholesome commercials of like the grandfather and his kid and them like him teaching him to twist and dunk the
one thing we didn't see, I will always see a commercial where I get choked up. Like a grandmother with Alzheimer's, or like there's always one where you're just it breaks your heart. I didn't get choked up or moved emotionally by anything that I saw ad wise this year. So very disappointing.
Lord Comment for 2. What isn't biased these days? Yeah, the trick is just being media literate and being able to suss out what's what. Skiz Civic Esquire gifted 10 Film Threat memberships.
Thank you, Skiz. Appreciate you. Thanks.
10. Rudy or Ruddy, I've heard it both ways, for 2. Jon Stewart is the sole reason news became snarky.
Yeah, it's I would say he certainly gets some of the credit for sure. I mean, and even Spy Magazine in the 90s kind of mixed entertainment and politics and made fun of stuff, mocked it, and that kind of went to Comedy Central with Jon Stewart's show. You're absolutely right.
But the whole point of Jon Stewart's show, it wasn't supposed to be a real news show. It was supposed to be comedy, right? But he
was delivering real news. Like Colbert was the one where it wasn't supposed to. He was like playing even though now
it was a bit. Colbert was a bit, and now Colbert is lost.
Yeah.
Well, he always was. He was just playing a bit.
Torgo the White for 5. Mass media is a corpo psyop. Yep. Media is reverting back to what it was during the founding era, bifurcated along with public interests. This is a win.
We're not quite there yet, but I get what you're saying.
Agree. I think maybe it's moving in the better direction. We'll get the Bud Frogs and just sell me beer, make it funny, show me boobs, give me a Carl Jr. burger with boobs. Yes. That's all I want.
But also,
burger.
YouTube. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say you have to understand too how powerful propaganda is. I mean, it's not going to leave. It's just going to transform into something else.
Yeah. You were going to say, Rob?
I'm sorry, Rob. Go ahead.
Well, no, I mean, I think this platform, YouTube, the long form conversations, the reason somebody like Joe Rogan got so popular is he's basically the everyman who sits down with people and asks questions that we all want to ask. And he can have long form conversations with people for 3 hours, and mass media can't do that.
Right.
You know, who can afford, whether you're watching trigonometry or whether you're watching heretics or whatever your poison is, the fact that you can get people to sit down for 3 hours, and Joe Rogan, it was a brilliant stroke getting Trump to sit down with him for 3 hours. And he was able to have that conversation, you know, and that's what people want. You in 5 minutes, you can craft somebody to say anything you want them to say. But if you're watching a live or something that's recorded for 3 hours, it's very apparent. Yeah, you can't fake it. You're seeing somebody, because they don't know what questions you're going to throw at them. Unlike anybody who goes on a talk show, you've already pre-discussed the topics, and you know what's coming at you. None of it is genuine. Whereas you go on Rogan, you don't know what tangent you're going to go on. Rogan's smoking a doobie, you know.
Yeah, there's a mass shooting in the chat right now. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Alec
ABS.
Baldwin, he don't miss. Alec Baldwin's finger gifted.
Oh, Jesus.
That's $250, by the way, if you were counting.
50 Film Threat memberships. Oh my God. Thank you. That is insane. Alec, thank you so much.
Wow.
I know people who know you. Hope to meet you someday.
He'll be
That is
streaming
amazing.
today. He'll be streaming today. Check him
That
out.
is
Every Friday.
amazing.
Great guy.
Thank
Great
you. Yeah. Thank you. I'm beside myself now.
Graph web for 2, of course. For Harrison's saggy ass, I don't care. Cancel Disney Plus. Cancel. I don't care. Film Threat. Butter Biscuit. Yeah, it's a Rumble rant. Butter Biscuit 92. No, guys, that's Philly. Same cats that decided to throw snowballs at Santa. As a Philly suburbs native, they are the worst fans in football.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but my good friend Mark Bell is a Philly fan. So there you go. Thank you for all your support and your supers. That is amazing. There were teases of some things at the Super Bowl. We're going to talk Superman. I think I was a little surprised they didn't run a Superman ad. They did something different. They went a different way. But we
didn't.
We did get a Thunderbolts. Let me see. Trailer. Well, they showed a piece of the trailer, and then you had to go to YouTube to see the whole trailer, which I have queued up.
When I say Captain America, I'm putting a little asterisk too, because hashtag not my Captain. That's Falcon.
Well, here we've got the trailer. I don't know if you've seen it, Rob.
Oh yes, a few times actually.
Okay, so let's watch the trailer here, and we'll react on the other side. Here we go.
Let's talk facts. The Avengers. Let's talk facts. The Avengers are not coming. Who will keep the American people safe?
There's some big threat out there, and you are gonna help me stop it.
Wait, us?
Yeah, you. Why, you got someplace to be? I love that guy.
So none of us comply? So what, we all just punch and shoot?
I can't think of a worse group of people trying to work together.
Stop! Speed! John, stop!
Where
are you?
Everyone here has done bad things. You can't escape their past. Hey, it's like your mind is somewhere else.
So you can do something about it now, or live with it forever.
This could get messy.
No shit. You thought you were gonna be some great saviors? You can't even save yourself.
We can't do this.
Suicide Squad
is a hero.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
Okay, that was really good.
We are the Thunderbolts.
Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you.
This has makings of team that can raise to glory. Bring light from the darkness. this team can be the heroes on the Wheaties box. With a little giddy toy.
Alexi, have you slept?
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Well, I'd like not to die today, so maybe somebody else should be driving.
Boy, did they want that to be by James Gunn. Suicide Squad versus Superman.
I'll say,
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't mind it. It looks fun.
No, I don't either. It looks
think
pretty. I actually want to see it now.
I want to see it. Because I like Bucky. Sebastian Stan, nominated for Best Actor this year. By the way, I like him as this character, and Bucky could have been Cap. Bucky ultimately probably should have been Cap. He has taken the serum, so
But he had been an assassin for 50 years or 70 years, killing people, working for the Soviets.
Time for redemption arc.
Yeah, working for Hydra.
But
It's
now I'm told that Thunderbolts is not the title of the movie. It's Dark Avengers, which will be revealed.
Yes.
That's the rumor. That's the rumor. It's been reported.
That's why the asterisk is there, and
And
I don't know,
why
man.
Hot Toys came out with the Dark Avengers Norman Osborn Iron Man figure.
Well, what do you guys think? I'm at least I'm more excited about this. Getting those Marvel checks. More excited about this than Captain America, which we'll talk about shortly. But no,
easily.
Look, this movie doesn't matter. It's it's not a Marvel series. None of the Marvel series to me have been great. They've all been dismissible. And this looks like it's a little adventure for some of your characters that you like. So I don't know. I'm not dreading it like I'm dreading you and I, Dante, seeing Captain America tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
Some of the characters you like.
Which looks, I have stuff to show you may not have seen from Captain America. It doesn't, and the more they show, the more terrible it looks. But this is fun. Let's hear.
A friend of mine that you know, Chris, a friend of ours,
yes,
has seen Captain America and said it was pretty good. Didn't say it was great, but it was pretty good, and said it was interesting. It held his interest, and that Red Hulk wasn't in it very much, but liked it. Didn't and he's somebody whose opinion I usually jibe with. Now he said it was mid-range Marvel, which is too bad because the Captain America trilogy as a trilogy is great. And clearly I think that they had a lot of production issues to surmount. Like the movie they wanted to make was they kept having to redo it. It wasn't working. And then I think they hired a director that was out of his league.
Yeah.
A movie like this. And this is the problem. You need, the thing about the Russo brothers and the thing about people like James Gunn is Kevin Feige was pulling people out of unexpected places and putting them in areas to direct, and it was working out for him. James Gunn had made what, $2-3 million movies?
Yeah,
smaller movies and Super, but it was his sensibility, and he understood he was working, and because he worked at the studio level writing movies, whether it was Scooby-Doo or whether it was Dawn of the Dead for Zack Snyder or whatever, they sort of lost that. You can't make a movie like this by committee. You have to have somebody, you have to have an auteurist vision, somebody who really wants to make these films. And the Russo brothers,
it doesn't help that Disney handcuffs all of their directors either. I mean,
and I don't think they did that as much. I think Marvel has now become more of a factory. I mean, if you look back in Winter Soldier, that was a decade ago. And things have really changed as the money started going up and up and up at Disney. They had less and less. They wanted less and less control from it's become a TV show where the producers are more important than the directors. The problem is, you still need an auteurist vision to make a great film. You can't make a great movie via committee.
Ironic that when Marty Scorsese was criticizing it and say there were theme park rides, he was wrong at the time, but now he's 100% right. 100%. It turned into exactly that.
Yeah. No, I honestly, I love the Thunderbolts as a comic. This is obviously not that. which kind of bugs me a little bit. But if I were just to take that out of it and just look at it like, okay, it looks like a fun adventure movie or an action movie. It looks, from this trailer, it looks like it would at least be an enjoyable time, right? I may not love it, but I probably won't hate it. I do have a lot of concerns about it, man. I don't know how you put the Sentry in a movie like this. I don't get that. He is a Dr. Doom level threat, you know, if not bigger. If not bigger, he's Marvel's Superman. So who goes bad and doesn't remember he goes bad. So he's pretty complex, right? And to throw him to the Thunderbolts is a little weird to me, but okay, fine, whatever. I hate what they did with Taskmaster in Black Widow, and obviously they brought Taskmaster here, who's one of my favorite villains of all time, by the way. So I really despise what they did with that, man. But other than that, other than my little gripes, it looks like a fun movie. So I'm going to give it a fair shot, even with my little gripes.
Yeah,
you're muted, Chris. We're professional streamers.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
I was just saying, I agree with you, Dante. It's fresh, new, with some characters I think we like. I think everybody likes Sebastian Stan as Bucky. You know,
and we know he'll be in it for longer than 5 minutes, right?
Yeah. It's not, and it's not burdened with having 3 good Captain America movies preceding it. You can't say Captain America: Brave New World is Captain America 4. It is a completely different movie. A recast Thunderbolt Ross, you know, Falcon stepping into the role of, you know, Captain America, which happens off camera. If you have not seen the Disney Plus series, that happened. He was handed the shield, then he is Cap. That's not the journey of a hero.
After giving it up and then complaining that the government replaced him with another person who actually was a better Captain America than him and had the, it's a whole thing. But you could see it in Thunderbolts.
Yeah, but so it doesn't have that burden because Captain America, objectively speaking, is a great trilogy with Chris Evans.
The irony of all of this for me, though, is they literally could have done the John Walker story as Captain America 4. Right? We start off with John Walker, who replaces Steve Rogers by the government. He's doing all the government things, but he doesn't have the heart of Steve Rogers. And we see that, he's going down a dark path. And then you could have either Bucky or Sam be like, hey, we have to stop Captain America, right? And by doing that, we get the real a Captain America we can believe in after, right? It should have been the John Walker story. That should have been Captain America 4.
Yeah, they want to turn everything into TVs, and then they didn't know how to make television, and here we are.
I'm just saying the bar is low. I have no expectations. I like some of the characters. It looks fun, although I don't know why everything has to be a world-ending event. And I will say this, that Elaine from Seinfeld has no gravitas whatsoever.
What do you mean? That's Madame Hydra, Allegra de Fontaine, or something.
Look,
she's no Amanda Waller.
I'll say she's really good as in Veep. She's great in Seinfeld. She has Amanda Waller, the actress, I'm forgetting her name, plays Amanda Waller, is really good. She has gravitas. You fear her. I think she's very good. She's not good in this. She doesn't have that gravitas. She's playing the Veep character, basically.
She's been in the end credits of like a TV show and 3 different movies already. That you still don't know what the hell. I guess this is it. All to lead to this.
No one cares about her.
Yeah.
Write her
Viola
out.
Davis. Viola Davis is who.
Although I will say that for what I read about her character, she's not really trying to be a Waller. She's just more of a manipulator who's kind of like playing both sides a little bit. So
I don't buy her. I don't believe it. Rob, you there's so many good character actors. They're on screen for a one scene, 1 or 2 minutes, and you never forget them. And they have gravitas, weight, and those characters, survive through time. She's not doing it. There's so many other older actresses who could have taken on that role. She's not good. I'm sorry.
Pam Grier played Amanda Waller in Smallville.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah,
that's
she was really good.
I mean, come on.
There you go.
Why would we have
right.
Sam Jackson? If you watch Secret Wars, you would know that Sam Jackson, as Nick Fury, is a horrible fraud of a character that just used the Skrulls to attain they completely destroyed his character if you didn't watch the show. He just took credit for everything the Skrulls did. So why would we need him for anything? We just need the Skrulls.
It's just
ridiculous.
Yeah,
I look, man. I think at this point with Marvel, with the MCU, I should say, is I think they're just trying to just get past this era. They're trying to get past it. They're sweeping everything they can just out there so they can be done with it. I think they know they messed up. They know they messed up. There's really no real way to course correct this, if we're being honest, though.
The end of Secret Wars, when the multiverse collapses into one world, and they have a whole new continuity that fits, and they can do whatever they want.
But that's the point. We're waiting basically for them to reset everything, but we're still going to be stuck with Pedro, like the Fantastic Forecast is staying. So it's like,
yeah, we are.
All right, let's go to comments.
Pilgrim Media for 2. That was embarrassing, cringe fest.
Well, again, my expectations are so low. Like, all right, that looks fine.
I expect it to be entertaining, nothing more.
Exactly.
Prester John for $4.99. It's time for the Butlerian Jihad. Our culture is controlled by AI, and our reality is dictated by algorithms. Well, if that was true, you wouldn't have been able to say that. The machines would have stopped you.
But also, you know what? All you have to do is turn it off.
Yeah.
If you turn your phone off and you turn your computer off and you live your life, but no one wants to. We're all addicted.
Hard. Justin Martins for 5. Can we stop with the classic songs and the trailers already?
Yeah, that's a dumb trailer trend.
So no more rap and no more classic songs.
Take like an old song, do the slow
like what can we use
version.
then at this point?
Scored music only.
You know what was better when trailers used music from other movies.
Gladiator used Conan when I saw it originally. It was awesome.
Yeah, or when they used the Requiem for a Dream music and the Thin Blue Line or the Thin Red Line music. I mean, I remember one of my favorites is Dante. The Warriors trailer uses Tangerine Dream's score for Sorcerer, for William Friedkin's Sorcerer, and it works amazingly well. That propulsive techno piece, it's so good. These are the armies of the night. It's so good.
Yep.
Bumbledore for 5. Thunderbolts would be a good palate cleanser between big main Marvel movies, but this is what all Marvel movies are now. I'll pass. Yeah.
All right, but watch our review, Bumbledore.
We got to get through it. Yeah. Joe, not a Fed for 2. Sounds like some of Fed would name themselves. They should go with Not Heroes as a title.
That would work. All right, now Captain America is coming, whether you like it or not. Captain America Brave New World opens this Thursday. You can see it. Dante and I will see it on Tuesday. We will report back with a late night stream where people can post their social reactions. We'll give you our reaction, quick reaction. But you may or may not have seen, if you've seen some of the commercials, what is Sam Wilson's power? He's not super powered. He has wings that can cut through metal. He has the shield, which apparently he has no problem throwing around, just like Captain America.
He has a vibranium suit because he's sponsored by an ethno-state.
And now I see that he has, if you've seen the recent commercials, he's like Ant-Man, where he presses a button and I complained about this before. What if you get your finger too close to your face and it chops off the little tip of your finger because you got too close to it's a cheap thing to I think it's a device that's overused.
Chris and Robert, you know, the Armor Wars, the whole Tony Stark of fighting. What's the point of that? Of doing Armor Wars? Who's fighting over that technology if there's already nanotechnology from Wakanda and space from Guardians?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Check out this commercial. Came out 2 weeks ago. American Family Insurance. It's 30 seconds right here.
Oh boy.
He's never gonna make it.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Go after it, Redwood. I'll catch up.
Because we help protect your dreams.
Good to see everything's okay in here.
I like your shield.
I like yours too. Hold down the fort, little man.
Bye, Cap.
American Family Insurance. And see Captain America Brave New World.
Well, so they're using an insurance company as a brand tie-in to promote Captain America. If you've seen the more recent trailers, the more I see, the more I don't believe, because what are his limitations, right? Every hero has limitations.
Well, he's human. He has no power. That's his limitation.
He's Iron Man with wings and a shield and a Ant-Man helmet and what is going, and I hate the design of the costume. It looks like Ice Capades to me. It didn't work in the comics. They're trying to convince us it'll work now. My expectations are in the basement. What are your guys' thoughts?
You know what? This would be a lot more believable for me if he weren't fighting a Hulk, right? If it were just him versus terrorists, I'd be like, okay, fine, whatever. You know what I mean? He's fighting a Hulk.
He gets beat up by a normal dude in the trailer.
Right. What happens if he's not in his costume? Let's say he's in an elevator with like 10 guys that try to take him on, and he has to fight them all. Without his costume, he'd be toast. I mean, look, Sam Wilson is a good fighter, but he's not Cap. I just don't buy it. And as you always say, Rob, we quote you, verisimilitude. I need to believe it. When Captain America, when Steve Rogers went in as a skinny youth in that capsule, came out, and the vaginas of every woman in the room exploded, looking at a shirtless Chris Evans as Steve Rogers, and he was, this buff. It was amazing. You bought it.
In that film, when he comes out in First Avenger, I think every guy, that was the body that every guy wishes they had.
Yeah.
It wasn't it wasn't like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It wasn't a bodybuilder body. It was a packed on muscle. It was properly proportioned. I mean, he was a fighting man. That guy would mess you up. And it was, but again, it was the super soldier serum. And I think, look, here's the thing. I think that one of the really interesting things about the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV series is Josiah, what's his name? From the Truth miniseries, who Carl Lumley played.
Isaiah Bradley.
Isaiah Bradley.
He's going to be in this, so you have to. Yeah, he's going to be in this movie too. Yeah.
So the idea when Isaiah Bradley tells him, "Look, America's never going to accept a black Captain America. They're not going to accept you," and he's like, "Despite that, I'm willing to accept the mantle." And that's kind of what happens at the end. I thought that made Sam Wilson. That was the heroic thing, that he knows that he's going to fight against this oppression, but he's still going to take on the mantle of Captain America because Steve Rogers gave that mantle to him, and they had earned each other's friendship and trust all the way back to Winter Soldier. And when he says "on your left" in Winter Soldier, and when Sam Wilson says "on your left" in Endgame, that friendship and that was built up beautifully. I mean, and when he says "on your left," I was in that theater, on the Disney lot, seeing Endgame, and the whole audience exploded, and then the portals open and Alan Silvestri scored.
Robert, that didn't need to be him overcoming the inherent racism of America, and he was going to do it. Fuck you guys for writing that. The message was, boy, I hope I can live up to Steve Rogers. They did accept him. He's the one that gave up the shield in that show no one watched, and the American government went, "Oh, he doesn't want to be Cap? Well, we'll find someone that does." He put the fucking the stick in his own bike spoke, and they went, "Oh, racism." He's the one that gave it up.
But the thing is, you can't not have Sam Wilson become Captain America and not address that. You have to address that issue because
in a post-Obama, I think you could. The Morgan Freeman stopped talking about it. You just have him be Captain America and be inspiring.
I agree, but we're not quite there yet. But
we're certainly not there now.
We're still talking about that. There's still a massive backlash. I think the real question is that Falcon was a great character that Anthony Mackie created and made it his own,
and not Black Falcon, just Falcon.
It was Falcon, just Falcon, 100%. And I think trying to shoehorn, and by the way, they haven't taken away his Falconness. He's flying around with just different color wings.
He fights with his wings. He's gonna, it's all.
And now they're giving him, they're giving him these Wakandan wings that are now magic. they can cut through cars that are thrown at him and cut through airplane hulls and whatever, which makes the character not believable, like Chris said. But I still think, look, I think Anthony Mackie's a great actor. I think when he's given something to do, he plays it well.
Man? Do you think he's a leading man?
I think I've seen him be a leading man. Like, I really liked him in this movie Synchronic that was made by Benson and Moorhead, the guys who made Endless and Spring and Resolution. I think he can be, but I think the problem with this entire movie is we can't. Captain America is super powered. He's super powered, and Anthony Mackie is not. And I think that is inherently problematic for the whole character. Reasoning? I mean, even when he lands, when he lands on the ground and he's waiting for the wave of sonic displacement to come down after him, all the other people get thrown away, but he stands there because he's living in a suit that
vibranium suit that makes sense.
But
did you hear his reasoning for not taking the serum? That Captain America is an everyman and he doesn't want to change, even though Steve Rogers was an everyman.
Yeah, all that stuff it just doesn't hold together.
Right.
And you're missing
especially when you look at the fact that Captain America is a super soldier, right? He's not just some guy with a shield who throws it like a frisbee. He's a super soldier, right? Like, and look, even if they gave Mackie the serum, my problem is Steve Rogers is Captain America. I'm sorry, I don't like this mantle passing bullshit, man. And if you are going to do it, the only one who makes sense is Bucky, because Bucky was there with them from the beginning. When Steve was
fighting in World War II.
When Steve was a runt before he got the serum, Bucky was there, right?
It's a new name.
And this could have been a great redemption story for Bucky, having the mantle passed on to him. But that's the only way it makes sense. It doesn't make sense with Sam. And also, I have to keep coming back to this, man. You know, the problem with the race swapping thing for me is Falcon is an original black character.
Yep.
Original black character, right? We don't have a lot of them from Marvel. So you're taking away another original black character because you didn't recast T'Challa. So you're taking away another black character and
Dante, they gave it to the Mexicans now. Joaquin Torres is now the Falcon. He's not black anymore. Falcon is Mexican now.
And
he's
in the movie.
It's like they're tokenizing him.
Yeah. Not like they're tokenizing him.
So that's my problem with it. It's like that's the two main reasons I don't want Sam as Captain America.
And you're not wrong. The thing is, Falcon was always a cool character. I liked him when I was a kid in the 70s.
Yeah.
Same.
Little kid. I love Falcon. I had a Power Records about and a phoenix shall arise, and it was Falcon.
And he wasn't Cap's sidekick. He was Cap's partner.
Right. That's right.
That would be so cool to do it.
Well, they could have. It's too bad because you could have had the Lethal Weapon of superhero movies.
That's what I thought the TV show was going to be with Bucky and him. I thought it was going to be Lethal Weapon, but they made it a whole. They went a different route. We want to like things. We
do. You can always have that dynamic too. Like when Bucky, if Bucky's Cap and he might be taking things too far, then you can have Sam be the heart and be like, hey, I know what you used to do. We don't do that anymore.
Steve wouldn't do this.
It's gonna have that dynamic going, right?
Yeah, I've always liked Falcon. Had the Mego figure when I was a kid with
that was
my
great.
Captain
That was
America
one of my favorite Mego figures.
They were so great, and he was just. And I love the comic. I bought every comic every month. There was a new one, still only 25 cents, which I hated because you knew it was gonna go up a nickel. But whatever. All right. In related story, Harrison Ford does regret Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. We're going to get a lot of more stories like this here. Look at this. Let me, sorry, that's very large type. Let me bring it down here. Harrison Ford doesn't regret Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It happens. So he says. So if you would, Badger, just read the beginning part of this.
Harrison Ford says he doesn't regret making Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, despite how poorly the sequel was received by audiences. Yeah, shit happens. The longtime actor told the Wall Street Journal, admitting that he was an advocate of the film early on. I was really the one who felt there was another story to tell. When Indy had suffered the consequences of the life that he had to live, I wanted one more chance to pick him up and shake off the dust of his ass and stick him out there, bereft of some of his vigor, to see what happened. No, we did. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, released in 2023, was the 5th and final installment to the Indiana Jones film. There's only 3 Indiana Jones films. Film franchise, and followed Indy on his mission to retrieve a legendary dial that could turn back time and alter history. While the Indiana Jones universe was once rich with dedicated fans, there was not much support for the new film in theaters, which resulted in a lackluster performance. Nevertheless, Ford says, "I'm still happy I made that movie." In the meantime, Ford remains booked and busy, currently starring in Shrinking on Apple TV. They say it's beloved, but gearing up for the Marvel Cinematic Universe debut with Captain America: Brave New World. He'll also be heading back to his ranch for season 2, of 1923, an actual good show.
Well, there you go. And then you'll also see Harrison Ford as a popcorn bucket at Regal. There's a Red Hulk popcorn bucket along with a Captain America shield and wings, and then a new flavor of Fanta. I don't know if you've seen this. I showed this before. It's the Red Hulk Smash Fanta. Comes in 0 sugar and sugar, and then the Captain America Barks Sparkling Shield Cream Soda, also in sugar-free version as well. So I don't know. I mean, look, he's been in the Star Wars franchise, Indiana Jones. Now he made his way to Marvel. Is he going to regret this?
He got paid. He showed up. He's making all the jokes. He's not even being a jerk off on the ticket, like the press tours and all that. He seemed to just have fun with it. Good for him.
Yeah. No, he's done. He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
But he looks like he's putting his all in as the president, as president, Thunderbolt Ross. I mean, get off my plane. It's
what a great movie.
I don't have a problem with him. I mean, he's in his 80s. He's having a good time. Why not enjoy yourself and get paid at the same time?
Exactly. He's probably high during the making of the whole thing too.
I think he said he was. He just smoked like an idiot. I would too.
I saw him at the panel. Gary and I, Neurotic, saw him at the panel at San Diego Comic-Con. He was high as a kite. He could barely. They asked him a question. He looked confused. So,
but
a good time.
The thing about Dial of Destiny, like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, is just a bad movie.
Yeah,
but that has some interesting scenes in it. But
happy ending at least.
But Dial of Destiny was so. It seems like it's a cliche to take our heroes and then in their gruff old age to just deconstruct them and destroy them. And as I've always said, it would have been far more interesting to go the other direction. That after everything that Indiana Jones has seen in his life, he's basically become Gandalf. He's seen the power of God come out of the Ark of the Covenant. He's seen the Sankara Stone's power. He saw somebody drink out of the Holy Grail and his father was resurrected. I mean, he's seen all these things. So he's a believer now. And to watch him, I mean, he should have been a counterculture 60s guru.
Should have lost an eye.
With a long beard talking about, he should have been Timothy Leary.
Remember young Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
It should have caught up to his depiction in young Indiana Jones. Is old, grizzled,
and they went the wrong direction. Like when the astronauts come down, instead of worrying that they've stolen the spotlight, he should have been like, I know what they're gonna find up there. And he should have been a guru to the students. The girls that were blinking "I love you" in Raiders. Well, now he's become
that would have been such a better movie.
A counterculture figure, and then his big thing is that, and why make him estranged from Marion? If there's one thing in an understanding that all of these things are real and exist, you would be centered. But then give him a reason to I have to go out on one, and he knows whatever he's going to go out and do, he might not come back, but he's willing to do it because what's out there? What haven't I seen? There's more wonders out there, and flip the script and make it because make him fun. But when you're watching these characters, he's not William Money from Unforgiven. You know, and that's what they want to take all these characters. They did it with James Bond. Oh, woe is me. You know, I'm too old and my life sucks. And it's like, no, it doesn't.
Indiana Jones and the Tome of Death. And it could have all about him, and the last great adventure for him is death. And that, you know?
Yeah, and you know what? Which harks back to the beginning of Temple of Doom. I go first, young Indy, or I go first, Indy.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing that's been stalking him, is the one thing he does. He knows there's an afterlife. He knows that the supernatural is real. He knows God exists.
And they miss.
Yeah, but they did all of this literally. They had to make him as miserable as possible so that you can like Phoebe Waller-Bridge and see how fun she is and quirky she is and all that shit.
It's so annoying to do this to characters. I think Luke was probably the worst of all.
Oh God, character assassination, man.
The worst. And then I don't know. They missed a huge opportunity. I don't know if any of you saw Love Hurts. Kihei Kwan.
Haven't seen it.
Kihei Kwan could have come back.
Yeah.
Short round. It would have been incredible. You know, he's this legit.
I remember Robert's pitch of him short round resenting Indy because he left him for an orphanage, and he's made it was actually pretty compelling. I keep a nugget of that.
And
I won an Oscar.
And that guy has he has skills, man. We saw him in an action movie fighting. He looked like Jackie Chan out there, man.
He was a stuntman training people to fight in real life.
Yeah. So it's good. He finally gets to do it.
I mean, the movie Love Hurts is not great.
It's not great, but he was good though.
He was good in the movie, and he's a legit martial arts skill and fighting skills. Huge missed opportunity. Bringing in Phoebe Waller-Bridge as some random friend's daughter and she's so insufferable. She is the worst thing in that movie, and there's a lot not to like.
Well, I think that, you know, Captain America, Indiana Jones, and the Dial of Destiny, they're all suffering from the same thing. There is this weird, like, bizarre notion that somehow that these characters are from a tradition, let's say a tradition that is this patriarchal, race-based tradition of heroes that we
then create new heroes.
100%. And I don't think it's bizarre that we live in a world that I just don't understand where this thinking. I mean, I know exactly where it comes from, but I don't understand why people think it's correct. It's never made money.
Oh, because they've been backed by USAID and all the other stuff.
That may be true.
Ideas are real.
That may be true.
This is their opportunity to make new people, heroes of color, if you will, or heroes of sexuality, or whatever you want to throw on it. This is their chance to do that, but they didn't take that chance, and instead they just did swaps.
Do you, Chris, real quick, do you have any tabs on Harry Potter casting? Because someone mentioned Phoebe Waller-Bridge. We all dislike her. And I'm hearing there's word she's going to play Aunt Petunia, which is the greatest casting I've ever heard, because I hate Aunt Petunia. And you're supposed to hate Aunt Petunia.
That would make sense. Well,
inspire casting.
Let's go to Soups. And we have one last topic, which is actually, ironically, Soups. Superman. So here we go.
Yum for 5. His powers are going to be a mix of Black Panther armor and nanotech, but from Ironheart. Yes, not Iron Man, because, well, you know.
That's probably true.
Pilgrim Media for 5. Writing is not describing. Painting is not depicting. Verisimilitude is merely an illusion. George Brock.
Nice.
Rumble Rant. I am all for this from Volume Dealer 1. I'm all in for Robert Reynolds, aka Bob, aka the Sentry, aka the Void. Watching Void turn those men into black outlines was like a creepy Twilight Zone / Outer Limits episode.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was cool, man. But I'm telling you, it concerns me because the Sentry is very powerful, man. I don't know how they're going to make this work.
Yeah. You're going to have to make his split personality be his Achilles heel that they manipulate with funny jokes and dance-offs. REG became a YouTube member. I hope that's not true. Shout out, Ari.
There you go.
Mr. Innocent for 5. Anthony Mackie as the main actor in anything has never been good, movies or shows.
I'll disagree with that. I'll disagree.
He was in a Black Mirror episode that wasn't bad, but I saw him in Elevation, and he was the lead. He was not great.
Dude,
Very
well, you know what?
The movie
Though?
wasn't that good. So
I thought he was pretty good in Twisted Metal, man. Twisted Metal was a lot better show than I thought it would be.
Yes.
I heard that from a lot of people. So
Yeah.
look, I just
And he did a
like
good job.
I like him as an actor. Let's see how he navigates everything that's about to come. And if schedule proves right, the world premiere is today in Hollywood, and there will be red carpet. So look for it.
It's interesting that they waited. Normally those premieres take place 2 weeks in advance of the opening.
Yeah.
But this is only a couple days in advance.
Gatekeeper, who as much as you can heterosexually love another man, Gatekeeper, shout out. I do love him. Member 7 months. Love you guys, especially you, Badger. Thank you. You guys stay well. Yeah, shout out. He's a trucker,
Thanks,
keeps our country
Gatekeeper.
going. Shout
Thanks,
out.
Gatekeeper.
C Black, Mr. Black for 5. MCU restarts with Fantastic Four. Okay. Fantastic Four, Doomsday, Spidey 4, and Secret Wars. Thoughts on X-Men casting rumors?
The rumors I've heard, which sound like a lot of fan casting, seem pretty,
I haven't heard any
good.
legit
and things like
I'm
that.
worried
yeah.
about Storm, though. I'm worried about Storm. I don't think Cynthia Erivo is Storm.
DeWanda Wise. That's what I've heard recently. And
Yes,
that was
and
actually
she
who I
would, she
wanted
would be
to.
amazing. She
Cynthia
would be amazing.
Erivo says she wants to be in.
She's got to put on like 40 pounds, and even
Right.
then, I'm sorry, dude.
No,
DeWanda looks like
no,
Storm.
no. If they do that, then they haven't learned anything. If they do that, Storm needs to be attractive. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it.
Bigot.
She needs to be hot.
But you're correct. I co-signed that.
hot and have an accent.
DeWanda Wise is hot.
She's
She
hot.
is very hot.
She's
Very
smoking hot. She's a good actress, so she's hitting all the check marks. James Riccuti. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Reticulite
Riccuti.
Galaxy. Sorry. AKA Gen X Fed 199. Badger, what would a Fed actually name himself? Not a Fed.
Exactly. Thanks, James. Appreciate you. All right, we're gonna pivot and do a bunch of Superman related stories. Oddly, during the Super Bowl, one big commercial everyone predicted might show up is Superman, and it did not. Not even a tease to go online. Nothing at the Super Bowl, which would have been, Superman trailer during the Super Bowl made sense, but they were a part of the Puppy Bowl. That's right, the Puppy Bowl. There was a Superman promo promoting Krypto. Yes, and they kind of debuted Krypto. Here it is from I'm going to show just some images.
Pretty sure it's the same breed as the one that James adopted. And of course, even though Krypto is in the comics, James chose to put him in the movie because he adopted a dog.
That looks kind of like him. So here it is, right here. Krypto the dog. They've even leaked leaked today the Krypto toys. Have you seen the toys yet?
I mean, I've seen the leaked McFarlane version of it, which.
Well, here it is.
This
This is officially from the movie.
Oh boy.
That is, and it's got some gyro on top of it. So it actually does fly.
Robert, this is correct to the comics, right?
With
Krypto
the
does
gyro?
have a helicopter blades
Yeah,
coming out of
no.
his back.
Looks like
I
the
mean,
old. Remember the
what do you-
Whirlybirds? Chris?
Yeah, like Whirlybird. What do you think? of
Whirlybird.
that?
Oh my God, Batman. Well, yes, it's canine nepotism. Yes, that is what is happening here. Sorry, Krypto.
Okay. Any thoughts? And I've got a video here of James Gunn. We can show this real quickly. It's James gives a little talk, and apparently Superman was a sponsor of the Puppy Bowl, which tied in this video here. We'll show it of James Gunn talking about Krypto. And let me get to this right here. Start this. There we go.
Hey everybody, I'm James Gunn, co-chief of DC Studios, and I'm here with my pal, Ozu, a rescue pup we adopted back when I was writing the script for my latest film, Superman. And as Ozu was changing our lives, he became the inspiration for a character in the film that I can't wait for you to meet, Superman's best friend, Krypto. Krypto has all the powers of Superman and is lovable and mischievous as many of the irresistible pups you'll see today. In this Here's Puppy Bowl. We're going to meet over 120 rescue pups who started off in shelters and are now flying to stardom as they tussle, triumph, and get distracted over the course of the day. And speaking of flying, as part of the festivities, we'll be handing out an award in honor of Krypto to the puppy that exemplifies an amazing power of his or her own. So stay tuned to catch all the action and see which of today's Wonder Pups wins Krypto Super Play. Say goodbye. You get good, Ozu.
Was this a good idea?
No.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
I love dogs, so I don't care. I mean, it's like it's for dogs, so I'm fine with it.
What are your thoughts, Rob?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I like the fact that he's named his dog after a famous Japanese director.
Yeah,
I think that's cool. But yeah, I mean, look, you know, it's a fun way. Obviously, they've already released that trailer, so they don't have anything else ready to go. I mean, the movie comes out in July. It's fine. I did think the Puppy Bowl, the bowl cut thing with Guy Gardner was funny.
But we do understand.
Stupid joke.
Let's
We
take
understand
a
why
look at
this
it
is
right
an
now.
issue. Yeah, this is. I hope you understand that this is CW aside. It's not actually coming up, but this is the criticism.
Yeah, it does not. I just this Guy Gardner. Now they did. James Gunn also released. Yeah, that's a meme someone made.
Comic accurate, but
it's comic accurate. But they could have made it less goofy. I mean, here it is.
Yeah. Is he supposed to be
only
a douche?
bowl
Guy
I
Gardner.
need?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I gotta.
Okay, you know what I just thought about? Okay, yeah, we're all making fun of the bowl cut. Sure, it looks goofy and everything. I almost feel like though, if the bowl cut matches him being an asshole, it's going to work. Because the more of an asshole, the more of an asshole he is.
Oh, and he is an asshole,
right? But the more we see it, the more that bowl cut's going to be like, oh yeah, that's Guy Gardner. You know, all the way, that's Guy Gardner.
What's troubling about the dog thing is, and I'm the one trying to steelman it to all my friends that say James Gunn is incapable of being the shepherd of this and separate himself and give everyone a hopeful blah 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 blah. Is man, when he changes major parts of the story just because he adopted a fucking dog and then he makes Krypto look like his dog, it just makes me think that he's not doing what's best for the story and the characters. He's doing what's best for James. I don't know.
Honestly, I have seen better cosplay. I have seen better cosplay at conventions. It looks like some of the cosplay they sell. There's one booth. I always kind of pop by it. They sell really nice looking leather superhero outfits.
I think this is the point, though.
Like one of those.
This is supposed to be corporate Justice League with Maxwell Lord sponsoring them. That's why all their outfits look the same. They all have the same lines in the same spots, the same knee pad lines. And then at the end, it'll be Superman led instead of corporate controlled. That's sort of that's what I'm getting from all the leaks and cutting and all that.
I'm not convinced. In addition, the cinematographer for Superman is the same guy who did The Flash, which I thought was one of the things the cinematography was not a standout in The Flash, right? And you've very mixed on that movie, I know, Rob.
Well, I mean, look, I like that movie more than a lot of people like it, but that he should have left that part. I mean, I have no sense of. I really want to wait and see because I think that James Gunn's doing something different with Superman than we've seen before. And I'm curious to see what he's going to do. And I don't want to condemn. I mean, everyone's so quick to condemn the film. And I don't want to do that. And a lot of people, I'd rather see something first before I hate it.
I agree with that. And honestly, here's the thing. The reason why I'm a little more optimistic is the more and more I see, the more I'm getting kind of like the Giffen DeMatteis run of Justice League.
Yes.
The Justice League International. We've never gotten that version of Justice League or that version of those heroes on screen. And I feel like that's what he's going for, which makes sense for James Gunn if you really think about it.
A cross between that and like a Superman for all seasons.
Yes.
I think you're going to go, it's going to be something between those two things because he knows he has to bring back the it's going to be more of a comic book fantasy realm, but he still has to have like the gravitas of the first 30 minutes of the Donner Superman. I think he knows he has to do that. And he still has to have great big action set pieces as well.
Big kaiju getting his ass kicked, messing up. It looks like that scene where he's hiding in the building from the populace that Superman interjected in what the Justice League International, controlled by Maxwell Lord, was doing. And what the hell are you doing out there, you rookie type of scenario? But by the end, Superman will be the guiding light. I want to like things too, but I'm trying to voice what everyone is saying about God.
Right.
I can see the pathway if he nails it, though. I can.
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing that also is if he doesn't, I mean, they've got Supergirl will already basically be finished shooting by the time this movie comes out. They're done.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much riding on this film that if this movie doesn't succeed and succeed more than any of the Cavill Superman movies succeeded, they're not going to have a universe.
He said that too. That if this doesn't work, we won't do more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I get the more and more I see a Superman, the more concerned I am. So
I feel like they shouldn't show anything more until they have a completely finished product. Like I think they should stop with the clips, with the teases. Stop with all that. Just
full, 2-minute trailer with the finished soundtrack and effects and something. Because this isn't helping.
In a related story, more Superman. I got to show you this. You guys probably saw this. Dean Cain was cropped out of let's see, where is it? Here it is, from Tugs. Everyone posted about this. Neurotic, a lot of people says your bias is showing. If you can see this, it's from a convention. I believe this was MegaCon, right?
This past weekend.
Yeah, and if you scroll down, let me scroll down. She's quote tweeting DCU updates.
They cropped them out.
The many faces of Superman. Where was Dean Cain?
He's Christian, and that's why he's Christian and right wing. They don't like him.
I mean, I don't know if he's right wing. He's conservative. I grew up.
Him, that's you know what I mean. He's conservative.
Well, for them, it's all the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
all Himmlers, yeah.
And you look at this, and it's like purposely cut out and cropped. Everyone did DCU, which by the way, I follow DCU updates.
Yeah, this is messed up.
Yeah,
this is messed up. This is what's wrong with what Doge is uncovering, that these attitudes were propped up that not everyone shares, and they were look at this, cropped him completely out when you compare the two pictures, and did it perfectly. You couldn't see that there was another person there. And there's Dean Cain. Shout out to.
Too bad he wasn't in the middle.
Yeah, well, yeah, that Tug Life. Next time, get in the middle. But this is,
by the way, that might be by design too. They're well aware that people clip him out of things.
But look at the crowd of people behind them. A huge crowd of people. Obviously, they're fans of all of them collectively. They've contributed to the mythos of Superman, whether it's in animation or on screen. I mean, that's a great picture right there.
It is
the
a great
original. It's a great photo. It shows the love for Superman and the people who have been fortunate enough to portray him. What are your thoughts on this? And is this kind of bias going to go away? Because we were saying earlier how much we all like community notes. And look, I'm well aware I'm not perfect on YouTube here. Sometimes get facts wrong. Love the chat when the chat's like, no, it was actually issue 15 of Amazing Fantasy. That was the first appearance of. Great. I want to know. I want to be corrected. I want to get things right. Being factually accurate is important, but it's so easy to call this out. Well, this kind of thing, this sort of cancel, it's like a pre-canceling, right? They cropped him out as a way to promote another attitude. It's over, folks. This doesn't work. You can be exposed easily now, and we see you, and people don't like it. I got to get your comments, all you guys. I'm livid about this, but happy that the internet does what the internet does and called it out.
Well, I have a question. Is DC updates are they ran by Warner Brothers?
No,
it's
just some dude.
It's a fan account.
Oh,
It is
then
not
whatever.
official.
Then it's just some biased asshole.
Yeah, it's par for the course with if you mention
Yeah.
Dean Cain on any social media, there'll be the brainwashed in the chat calling him a fascist and all the other things just because he doesn't believe what they believe.
As long as it's not Warner Brothers who did it, then yeah, it's just some asshole.
The real thing here, though, is we need to stop throwing shade at CW. Look how good Brandon Routh's Superman Kingdom Come suit looks.
Yeah.
That's CW, all right? What are they doing over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Dean, thankfully, is able to go on many of our streams and get his word out and, his comics with Gabe, I'll tell you, and all that. It's nice. The whole canceling shit doesn't work anymore.
Well, look.
And what's crazy is like I did a show with Dean Cain once, man. He is the most normal guy, man. Like he is very down to earth. He's just a good dude. Like I don't get the hate. I really don't get the hate, other than the fact that the guy's conservative. That's their only gripe.
That's it. Kevin Sorbo, all those guys. It's just because they're conservative and Christian. Neil Madonna, all of them.
I just think that and Rob, you and I have known each other since the 90s and been to conventions many times.
Yeah.
It was such the most open-minded people, nerds. You don't see like riots in Philly after a Superman movie comes out. You know what I mean? Nerds are the most accepting, progressive, having grown up on things like the original Star Trek series. Like nerds are really we are collectively drawn to each other by both our likes and dislikes. That no one care. I remember going to comic book shops when I was a teenager, and it was you'd find your people, right? This is the guy that also loves, Fantastic Four, or whatever your specific interest was. You found your people, your friends. Didn't matter what they looked like, or what their politics were. We were drawn together by our loves for fandom. I want to hear your thoughts.
100%. I mean, that was, and traditionally, what I found, especially I was a big reader, still am, but science fiction, fantasy, and horror was a lot of it was very progressive in terms of things that it would expose you to, ways of looking at the world, because you're dealing with technology and you're dealing with ethics and morality, and in the face of changing technology, those things are fodder for storytelling. So people had to be more open-minded traditionally.
Yeah.
And it's bizarre. Like I've never understood that. And I've been criticized recently for this outlook. I mean, we need different points of view to make this country work. It's the push-pull between different points of view that cause us to think, okay, you might have a point, you might have a point. How can we reach a consensus and move forward? I mean, that's how progress happens. Otherwise progress stagnates. If everybody believes the same thing and does the same thing, how do you move forward? And the idea that you can't, and also what this is doing is very Soviet Russia. Let's paint people out of pictures and pretend that they didn't exist. Let's change history. Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman was a delightful show, and Dean Cain was actually a very good Superman.
Yeah.
So because what this shows more is how infantilized and unfortunately immature a lot of fandom has become. And I'm not saying fandoms, I can speak to this. We've always been a little immature. Puerile.
Yeah.
I like big boobs still, and maybe that's a little too immature, but I'm just saying,
if that's immaturity,
yeah, I mean,
it's a different level.
But
I'm with you on the boobs thing. I agree.
I mean, it's people were. I got somebody who wrote on my Twitter feed just the other day, and they put a picture of Rachel Brosnahan in that very kind of, it was very sexy brown dress she had on.
Oh, I was there, Rob. I was there at the CCA. I was there.
She was wearing this beautiful dress. She looked terrific. And some guy, obviously, if you look at his picture, he's exactly what you'd think. He goes, "Well, we don't want a Lois Lane that looks like a whore."
Oh my God.
And I wrote back, "Is a woman in a tastefully sexy dress a whore?" And this guy immediately blocked me and I'm like, what kind of person are you? And we all know, like William Shatner called it out on Saturday Night Live in the 80s.
Yeah,
But
these are people that don't have real relationships with women.
No, but look at the joy in that room.
Yeah. Look at the people.
By the way, I don't even want to.
People.
It's not just
Insane.
beta incels. It's not just beta incels. This
No,
is
I wasn't suggesting that
ideological.
at all.
I know, but just so it's clear, this is an ideological thing that Dean has been cast aside as, which you hope. Obviously, it's not as true in reality. Look at all the fans embracing him. It's that false algorithm. If you see his name, oh, it's like, what are you talking about? These people have never even met him. It's just because of what he believes.
Yeah.
Let's go to comments here as we wrap up. But I appreciate you guys. After the Super Bowl hangover, Dante, I gotta say, I think I went too hard. I know you left early. I stuck around a little longer.
Oh, you stuck around. Oh, you're nuts, man.
I wanted to see if I win the TV. There was a TV raffle. I did not win.
You won the hangover, though.
I need another TV. I would have
Yeah,
given.
you got a different prize.
Yeah, yeah. I got a hangover prize. Here we go.
Sean Cosgrove for 2. Dogecoin rather to the moon. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Black shirts for 199. Puppy Bowl instead of commercials because DC is broke. Also correct. C Black for 5. Starting to believe Jeff Snyder about the internal worry about Superman.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
day we heard that.
I follow Jeff Snyder. I know him. Met him a couple times. We've had conversations. Yeah, he might have something, but every movie. Here's the thing, and Rob, you know this because you know your film history. You know, I'll give you a movie that everyone thought was going to bomb. They had seen cuts of it and said, this is going to suck. What the hell were you doing? You have no idea what you're doing. It was a movie called Star Wars. The studio had no faith in it. It opened only in 10 theaters the week it came out. May 25th, 1977. I saw it. I didn't see it on that Wednesday. I saw it on Friday.
I saw it on Sunday.
Okay, so you saw it opening weekend when it was only in 10 theaters. I saw it at the Americana Theater in Detroit, Michigan, right around 9 Mile in Southfield. Anyways, I love that theater. I saw everything there. They had like amazing the amazing Dolby sound and all. I loved it. It was great. That movie everyone thought would bomb. That's why it only opened on few screens. The trailers for the original Star Wars sucked. You didn't know what it was. And the tagline for the movie Star Wars was, it's about a boy, a girl, and a galaxy. What a shitty tagline. It was, they didn't know what they had. And there are plenty of movies, maybe less these days, where you hear, oh, it's bad. Come out, they might be good. That's why I always take a step back, say, you know what, based on this, we'll see. But I go in, put all that aside and just watch it fresh. But
people thought that about 89 Batman when they heard Michael Keaton was cast.
Mr. Mom.
Well, I still have problems with 89 Batman, but they're not Michael Keaton. He's great. He's one of the best. I love Michael Keaton as Batman.
Another more recent movie that Warner Brothers thought wasn't necessarily going to work, and the marketing department at Warner Brothers took all the internally wanted all the success for the movie because they said it was their marketing that made it a hit, was Inception.
Wow.
The studio didn't know. I mean, and it's because look, the people that work in like what William Goldman said in his book Adventures in the Screen Trade, no one knows anything. And nowadays people don't know anything. I'm still hearing I think it was Bill Hader who stars in Coyote versus Acme. Is it Bill Hader? And he was saying this is a really good movie.
The one that got shelved?
Yeah, shelved. And I find that inexplicable. The whole premise of that movie, I read that editorial it was based on back in 1990 when it first came out, which was hilarious. The idea that the Coyote takes the Acme company to court because he's never been able to catch the Roadrunner. I mean, that idea alone is a golden idea. And the fact they did it like Roger Rabbit, how
far did they get into that movie before they shelved it?
The movie's done. It's finished.
Yeah. It's completely finished.
Completely finished.
And they shelved it.
It's completely finished. Yeah. And they did the same thing with the recent movie. They sold it to Netflix. It was another Warner Brothers animated film. And I honestly think that I think that like David Zaslav didn't get it.
The set designer for Batgirl said it was actually fully done, that all of the effects were actually done. It's a full done movie, and they shelved it. And also Alan, just not different company, but Alan was talking about that Iranian cartoon for Pixar, basically, that got shelved. Like, they have no problem shelving shit when they see the culture change.
Wow.
By the way, I've seen the Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tune.
That's what I was talking about. That the day there's
I saw it. I saw it a couple months ago. It's great.
They rather than
it's
release
super
it,
old
they've
school.
sold it off.
Well, it's coming out in March.
Yeah,
so
but
I've
isn't
already
it-
seen it.
But isn't it
It's-
coming out via? Is it Netflix? They sold it to. They sold it to
No,
somebody
no,
else,
it'll be in theaters. It'll be
right?
in
But it's
theaters.
not Warner Brothers, right?
It's some other company. I don't know what.
Yeah,
but I
they
saw it.
sold a Looney Tunes movie to another company. Like, it's insanity.
I mean, wait. So did they do this because they didn't want to do the marketing for it? Is that what this is about?
They didn't know how to market it. I mean, and I'll tell you, having seen the Day the Earth Blew Up, it's not some woke thing. It is like back to old school Looney Tunes with weird humor. It's like it'll work for kids, but it works on a whole other layer for adults. It's fantastic. It's not what you think. It's can't wait to see it again, actually. So
Yeah. I mean, we live in the problem is people know less and less and less about their own business. You see it everywhere. They know less about the entertainment business than ever before because now everybody's looking to something else. No one has gut instinct anymore. The reason, you're talking, Chris, about the "What's up" commercials earlier.
Yeah.
Imagine the thought process. Imagine if you had to go into a committee and explain this commercial, and you're trying to, because that commercial to me has always stood. It stands a test of time. I occasionally go back and watch it because to me it's a marvel of somebody creating something that they had to have just gone with, because
it was lightning. It was lightning in the bottle, man. I mean, there's no way you could do that again.
And also, even now, it works exactly the way it worked when it first came out. That commercial is so good. There's nobody today that has the wit or the foresight to do something like that. And if they did, the people that would have to greenlight and pull the trigger would say no.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think more and more organic writing feels like AI, because people are influenced by the same things. You ever heard the term parallel thinking?
Yeah.
Where someone has an idea, you have the idea, and you're like, oh wait, someone.
It's what comedians say when someone says, "You stole my joke." It's like,
No. Exactly. Like, I even had when I did stand up way long time ago, I had a joke, and I did this joke about the year 2012, and a girl I was with was doing stand up the same show, was like, I had a joke that was just like that. There are things in the air, but I feel like there are a lot because we're influenced by so much of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Almost organic writing feels like AI now, AI written or chat GPT. It's weird, but anyways.
And here, just not to be a fear monger here, but AI is only going to get better.
Yep.
It's only going to get better. So I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with writing anymore.
We'll see. Back to soups here as we
Will Yum for 5. Guy Gardner will be offed early in the movie to make room for Jon Stewart. No, you are mistaking the Lantern TV show in which Hal Jordan will be offed early to make room for Jon Stewart. But yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure for 5. I don't know if you guys are aware, but according to some leaks, Guy Gardner's barber will be the main antagonist of the Superman film.
Makes sense. Thank you, Garfield.
Nick. Hey, shout
Funny
out
enough,
Nick for
called
Echo
the
Base.
Barber. That's his
The
villain
Barber.
name.
Echo Base Network. Shout out Nick for $9.99.
Hey,
Missed you
Nick.
guys in Orlando. Got to meet and hang out with Alan though. Tall.
We all love Alan.
Next year. Next year.
Everybody loves Alan. Everybody loves Alan.
Geek
Thanks,
Truth
thanks,
64. Yeah, shout out Nick. Geek Truth 64 for 2. The best versions of Superman have been on TV. Tyler Hoechlin is an amazing Superman.
I agree.
You are Barmy for 2. Give us boobs popcorn bucket. Correct.
I will buy that one.
Hell yeah.
Yes. A Viewpoint member for 2 months. Looks like James Gunn is using people's love for dogs to manipulate them into going to watch Superman Hail. Yes, but also what Dante said. They're poor. They can't afford marketing. So the dog thing is cheap.
I gotta feel like with so many bombs in a row for DC that they have got him on a tight budget. Really tight.
Yeah.
Well, can you imagine how much this movie's going to cost?
Yes.
Don't know the estimates so far, but
Don't know. C Black for 5. The Wrap just broke news that Doomsday starts filming in March. Hopefully we won't get leaks. We're gonna get leaks.
But we are going to leave it there. We're short staffed today, but I gotta say, we got the A-list here. This is amazing. We got the cream of the crop. People like, look, Rob, you remember when back in the old school Comic-Con days when the gas lamp was kind of dangerous. There was a strip club down there.
Oh yeah, that was a good time. What are you talking about?
It was a good time.
The gas lamp was sketchy. So all we did was go to the hotel bars, and it was like the Algonquin table. Everyone's sitting around and telling stories, and you'd talk about this sci-fi novel or this thing. It was really a magical time before Comic-Con. Comic-Con like started to go south 2007 when
Twilight. Say Twilight for showing up. Yeah.
No. I'm gonna say when G4 started covering it. That's when everybody started showing up.
I will say this: it was back in the day when seeing a hot girl at Comic-Con was like a Bigfoot sighting.
Oh yeah, no, it was a big deal.
It was a very, very different.
Is
place.
she here on purpose? Why is a girl here?
But that's because culture. It's good because culture changed between anime becoming dominant in young pop culture, and you had gaming. Girls got into gaming, they got into anime, they got into all kinds of things, so they too discovered the joys of Comic-Con, which is great. And then you had families. I mean, I've been going to Comic-Con since 1988.
Wow.
And I've watched, it was still guys, flipping through comics in long boxes. Look what I found.
It wasn't at the convention center. It was a much smaller place.
That's a great.
Have you ever gone with Gary? That's all he does.
That's a great Gary impersonation you just did, Bob.
Yeah. Exactly
it wasn't. That was before the convention center was even built. This was still up in downtown San Diego at the hotels and stuff. And then you know what I think Comic-Con really started to change? When Jack Nicholson showed up for Wolf.
Really?
Jack Nicholson came, and I think that was, I want to say 95 or 96. It really began a slow change when Image Comics took over. They showed up, I think it was at Comic-Con 94, and they were like conquering heroes. Rob Liefeld had built a 1-to-1 scale Youngblood spaceship that he had. It was when all the Image guys were like, it was like the Beatles. They had all this money. They were making millions of dollars a month selling their books. I mean, McFarlane was selling like 4 million copies of Spawn, which means he was making like $4 million, $5 million a month.
Yeah, those guys were like rock stars out there.
They were like rock stars, and then bigger and bigger talent started coming to Comic-Con every year. But I remember it was Wolf. I'm like, oh my God, Jack Nicholson's gonna come to Comic-Con, and that's when it really started. I mean, Chris, we co-sponsored Sci-Fi Universe magazine, and Full Moon co-sponsored that screening of Oblivion in '94. That's where I met Mark Altman.
Jack found the only two good-looking women and took them. Sorry.
But the other great memory was sitting with you, Mark Altman, a bunch of other, in our extended circle in the very back where they did the costume contest.
Oh, that was
we would heckle. We had to do it way in the back, and there were all these like young girls.
It was all the Sailor Moon girls. They were all dressed as and we were screaming anytime a Sailor Moon, and it was there was like 20 different ones. We would scream for the Sailor Moon girls.
The best costume I never forgot was just a guy who had Mickey Mouse hands gloves. He was dressed as the number 42, and every time he came out, do you remember we'd chant 42, 42.
I mean, that was back when you could go to now people take this stuff too seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, now it's like everyone understood when we scream for all the Sailor Moon girls. They come out and do a dance routine, and we're like, yes. Now we're too old. But if you think about that, dude, that alone, and that wasn't our first Comic-Con together.
Yeah.
And that was 31 years ago.
Jesus.
God. Oh my God. Anyways, all right, guys, we got to wrap it up here. Let's see. Want to thank Comic Glory. Thank all you guys.
Starbrighter.
Hopefully back. Oh, by the way, come back. Come back Monday. We're going to talk about Captain America on Monday.
Yeah.
If you've seen it, come on the show. If you don't get a chance to see it, come on another time. But it's a late last minute super. Couple.
Chara Starbrighter for 5. Everyone needs to stop hating on Guy Gardner, the one true Green Lantern. Y'all are just jealous of his magnificent red bowl cut. That is correct. We get hating when we're jealous.
I just always love Guy Gardner when they relaunch Justice League and Batman punched him.
One punch.
He's went down.
Ever.
Maybe we'll see that one day. A serious man, member for 11 months. Chris, we missed you and Gary at MegaCon. Hail.
Not true, a serious man. I saw myself at MegaCon in a Film Threat shirt. So a serious man, that's not true. I actually saw pictures of, might have been impersonating me, but that was fun. I wish I could have gone, but there you go. I want to thank Armand, Lord Thoth. Want to thank Rob, Dante, Badger. Subscribe to all their channels, linked in the description. And Badger going live in 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes.
3:30 or so. In 30 minutes, we'll have Badger Cast. So if you're sad the stream is ending, just come on over and hang out with us.
Over to Badger Cast. And then Dante and I, late night stream tomorrow night after 10 p.m. I don't know. The screening's at 7:30. Might be later, 10:15, 10:30.
Maybe like 10:15-ish around that time.
Tomorrow night. And then Dante is guest co-hosting with me on Hollywood on the Rocks on Wednesday. And then Friday, I have no idea. Alan's on vacation is what's happening. Alan's on vacation. So we'll see. But
in line for a butterbeer still.
There you go. We'll be back. Want to thank you guys. I look forward to this. It's really just catching up, talking about like this book that Rob and I had from when we were kids, The Making of Star Trek. Love that book.
It's an amazing book. I wish the people that were making Star Trek today would read it.
Did you ever? I'm sure you have these too. These zines.
Those are wow. You don't see those very, very often.
Look at that. Star Trek, the motion picture.
Wow.
I like to collect the rare zine stuff.
But that was another thing that people had. They were self-publishing all that stuff. I mean, fans were publishing books and pamphlets, and no one does that anymore.
Yeah. All right, we're going to leave it there. But thank you to Atomic Lori, Glenn Uccio, and I do miss Alan. I miss Alan.
We all do. We all
miss him, but he's having a lot of fun. As you can see, there's a video for members only.
He cast a big shadow.
Exactly.
He's tall.
Yeah.
And our final one here. Great show, guys, from Hellraiser, member for 24 months. Also, by the way, Hellraiser coming back to theaters with another Fathom Events.
Ooh,
so
I might be down for that.
Love it. So thank you all. Come back, see Dante and I tomorrow night, and I think that's it. I guess.
Let's get out of here.
Wait, who's gonna wait? I gotta time it right. Gotta time it. Badger.
Yeah. Let's get out of here.